Here's why I'm going to make the case that content is a really bad idea for you if you're like a fractional executive or a consultant, or let's say you're an agency who works with big fish. So a lot of times I think people go into their solopreneur type world and they're starting their agency or they're starting their consulting firm, or they're like, I'm going to be a fractional marketing officer. And they're very excited. And that's awesome. You should be excited. That's cool. But they're not sure where to start to get customers for their business. And a lot of times the default advice a lot of advisors or coaches will give you, people who support you, the consultant, the fractional lead, the expert, will say, hey, start posting content. Like that's the strategy that's going to work to get you customers. Start posting every single day, whether it's written content, whether it's making videos, whether it's going on YouTube or TikTok. They're like, just start hammering out content and then eventually you'll get a customer. And the problem with that is that doesn't always happen. That's not consistent enough. While it happens sometimes, I think creating content can be super great. I kind of think of it as like the kindling on a fire, but you need a spark. You need something to actually get the fire going. So what I've typically seen, and the reason why I think content can be alone a bad and horrible idea for a small new business or even a business that's trying to go to market is a couple reasons. So the first reason is that it's unpredictable. Yes, it's possible that you go viral and tomorrow you have millions of followers and all of a sudden like you're in demand and you have a long line of clients. It's also possible that you do like content every day for years and get nobody to respond to you. It's kind of the same as like going to Los Angeles, California and saying, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to become a famous musician, right? Like I'm just going to go out there with my guitar and start strumming and that's where it's going to work, right? Because if I'm putting out good music, eventually somebody will hire me. And that could happen and it could never happen. Some of the best musicians ever are playing bars and we've never heard of them. All right. So that's the first reason I might make the case that content alone is a horrible idea. The second reason is that it's very time consuming and exhausting. It takes a lot of time to actually make content for your business. Even for our business, I'm fortunate enough to have some support with the strategy and the video editing and the media management. And even that sometimes feels like a lot of time I'm investing. And I've only invested it after the business has hit a certain threshold where now I have a little bit of time to do this. It can be very time exhausting doing just content alone for your business. And if you're by yourself and you don't have support, it might not be the best use of your time and it can be discouraging over a long time, right? So that's the second thing, is that it's very like time consuming. The third and final thing is that it may not result in even sales, right? Just because you have a like very successful, let's say TikTok channel or something like that, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to result in sales. Sure, it can, but it may not be the case, especially if you're like working with high-end clients, right? If you're a fractional executive or a B2B consultant or an agency who wants to work with like that mid-market bigger company, a lot of those people are not trolling the internet looking at like videos about 3 tips to grow I don't know, manufacturing company. Like that's not really going to be compelling to them. They're not consuming that content a lot of the time. So that's not even where the ideal customer is. The activity you're doing doesn't directly resonate or connect to sales. It just might. And it is, again, as I've kind of said before, it's a little bit like the kindling to your business, but you need a spark. And for me, the spark, and for you, what I would recommend the spark be is anything that falls under the category of business development. This is like doing the SpongeBob rainbow in my brain. But like business development, right? So new business development. This means meeting with people who are potential clients. These are going to where they are. This could even be cold calling, which is horrible. I don't think you should necessarily cold call, but cold calling is going to get you closer to your goals than posting content all day. So I would strongly recommend finding your customer, getting in front of them, and letting them know what you do and how you can offer value to them. I know that's not the sexy advice. That's not the advice LinkedIn influencers want you to follow, because then you won't buy their course. But that is the thing that I've seen time and time again actually drive sales for small businesses and even large enterprise businesses. Okay. So Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know if you agree. Maybe a LinkedIn influencer will tell me to go to hell, and that would be cool. But like any sort of feedback, if I'm wrong, I want to know I'm wrong. If I'm right, I love hearing them right too. So let me know. All right. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.